92% of Black women showed up at the polls on November 5th. And 80% of Black men showed up at the poll because we asked them to. And sometimes we begged them to, because we believed that Kamala had an ear that would listen to us as people. Was she perfect? No. But she was the best choice for America. She was the best choice for women. She was the best choice for people of color. She was the best choice for the poor. Because nobody really listened to what Donald Trump said, right? Y'all heard him, but you didn't listen. Because now some of you are shocked at what he's doing, but he said it the entire time.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to AfriPost. I hope wherever you're watching us from, you're having a great time. Now, we know that almost every American is currently asking themselves why the country ever voted President Trump. And people have been calling themselves names and even trying to group themselves in different groupings because they are searching for someone to blame for making this effort of electing someone they think is totally incompetent. Now, in today's video, I came across a clip here where two ladies, one is a Mexican American and the other one is a Black lady, and they are speaking and asking themselves, why are Blacks not helping out? Because for many years they have seen when Black people are being targeted directly by the government, they have always come out through protest and called out the government and done things here and there to really oppose government actions against them. However, this time round, it seems the resistance from Black community has dissipated. No one is coming out to fight. And some Blacks are saying that you voted for him. Enjoy what you voted for. Others are saying, how will we address this if they start coming for us? And one thing we must note is that the government, the US government, has at all times been against Blacks. And that can be proved by different policies that it passed over the years. Look at the Jim Crow laws, the redlining tactics, and many others that led to segregation and making Blacks look inferior to whites. So I want you to watch this clip and listen to the discussion that is going on here. Then we shall talk at the end. Let's watch.
Starved, they are thirsty, only given 1 cup of water per day, are denied bathroom privileges, are denied medical attention. People in ICE concentration camps are losing their lives. And don't even think about saying FAFO, fuck around and find out, to these people in ICE detention centers. It is a shame that members of the Black community started the trend, and so many other people followed. This is an updated voting poll. Brown people voted for Kamala Harris more. But you fall for the colonizers' divisive tactics, the inaccurate voting polls, the initial propaganda. It is immature and immoral to be centering that type of behavior in response to a community that is being mass deported, imprisoned in concentration camps, and tossed out of the country to who knows where without any rights or contact to any lawyer or family. When we should be focused on solidarity, and this has to stop immediately. Especially those of you who claim to be activists perpetuating this FAFOBS nonsense.
Shouts out to Aaliyah, because this is where it was on her page when I first saw this lady, this Mexican lady. And then I went to her page and she doubled down and literally said that they helped us during the Civil War, which is a lie. And the Mexicans helped free the slaves. First of all, Mexico had slavery themselves that wasn't abolished until 1829 or 1830 or something, somewhere around there. And the president that abolished slavery in Mexico was Afro-Indigenous. I don't know why they keep leaving that part out. He looked more like a negro than he looked like. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And when we were down there, we was fighting beside them. We was helping to protect their borders. They conveniently leave that out. All this civil rights, nobody that was not fighting with us for civil rights. Is a lie and a scam, not as a collective. And they know a lot of them are anti-Black. It is so crazy that they keep blaming us. First of all, we've been saying fuck around and found out, just like we've been saying a whole bunch of other shit that they co-opt and steal and turn into something else. Fuck around and found out never really had no political meaning. That's just how Black people talk. Bitch, fuck around and find out. That's how we talk. Why do they keep blaming us and censoring us when we are not the ones that's putting them in concentration camps? We do not yield, nor do we hold the power to deport them. They are focusing on the wrong people. Why y'all not mad at MAGA? Why y'all not sticking it to the white man? I mean, we just got to call it a spade a spade. It's so weird that the Mexican and the Latino community keeps coming for black people. It's because we're not putting our bodies, we're not sacrificing our bodies and going and running out and standing on the front lines. Is that what it is? Why they got so much animosity toward us like we're the ones that's doing this to them? We're not inflicting any pain on you. And as per Aaliyah's video, because I never saw that initial video, she played a video of a bullhead clear guy coining fuck around and find out for political purposes. Once again, stealing our shit, renaming, reclassifying it, giving it a different meaning. We're not making fun of y'all like that. We really ain't. We don't give a... It's unfortunate, but stop blaming. You're pointing. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. This is bizarre. I don't know how we get in it. How we keep getting in it.
So I've seen all these videos of black people. Folks are mobilizing, and black folks are like, "Sit your black ass down," right? And my question is, okay, fine. What's the plan when they come for us, though? Because they kidnapping people off the streets. So you may think you're not helping the wrong voters or whatever, but that's not going to stop them from coming for us. And in fact, they'll come for us before they come for them other people who voted wrong. So what is to happen since we're not participating in any resistance efforts and they're kidnapping people off the street? What is the plan for us? Because I know y'all don't think that you're going to be able to sit in your house unbothered while they kidnap people they ideologically disagree with off the streets, while they impose a proper ideology. Our existence is improper. Our existence here on this nation is absolutely improper. It absolutely falls within the gambit of improper. We are absolutely a target. So if we're not participating in other people's resistance, that's cool. If you punishing them or whatever you're doing, but you're going to rest yourself right into a concentration camp. You're going to have a whole lot of rest coming up. You feel what I'm saying? So like, cool. We're not helping them. We're not organizing. What are we doing to help ourselves? How exactly do we expect to keep us safe then? Because I think many people think that we're abstaining from organizing and participating as some type of retribution to other people. We have never organized for other people. We organize for ourselves. We organize because we know we are never safe. And organizing is how we protect ourselves. This administration, and honestly, the oligarchy was there either way, is kidnapping people off the streets. It's only a matter of time before they're kidnapping people out their homes, including the people who are sitting and resting. So we ain't organizing for nobody else. We ain't helping. We taking time off. How exactly are we keeping ourselves safe? And I'm not asking for a friend. I'm asking for me. Because how I read this moment is there's no such thing as self-preservation in a dying empire. There is no such thing as resting or peace or abstaining from organizing when the government is defying court orders to kidnap people off the streets. There is no such thing as rest when some of the nation's biggest and most powerful universities are complying with fascism, when some of the nation's biggest and most powerful law firms are complying with fascism. I understand us in this moment to need to emulate every historical giant we've ever admired. We need their fight, their courage, their wisdom, their faith. That is how we keep ourselves safe. There are times for rest and there are times for work. And that does not have anything to do with any other community or anybody's voting patterns. It has everything to do with what the moment is asking of us. Tumultuous conditions present the greatest prospect for advancement. They hold the greatest potential for promise because they're in flux. And the only way that promise turns into improvement, because change is coming. There's no pre-Trump reality you're going back to. There's no pre-kidnapping people off the streets normalcy to return to. You see what I'm saying? And if people are really honest, and I'm saying this now as a First Amendment speech and press scholar, crit scholar, they've been doing this. The fact that it's just so brazen now allows more people to organize against it, but it's been this way, right? So there's no normalcy, pre-Trump normalcy you return to. Things are going to change. But whether or not that change turns into improvement depends on what we do. And resting and abstaining doesn't turn tumult into improvement, doesn't turn chaos into improvement, doesn't turn fascism into improvement. So that's cool. You're not helping white women, you're not helping liberals, you're not helping Hispanics, you're not helping Palestinians, cool. How you helping us though? How you helping us not be, how are you resisting our demise in fascism? How is your rest doing that? How is your abstention from organizing doing that? How are we keeping ourselves safe? Because I think, I don't know how this idea took hold, but I think people think you resist fascism, you resist tyranny, you resist oppression for other people. Nah, babes. Nah, babes. Once they start normalizing kidnapping people in broad daylight, on camera, in defiance of court orders, you resisting for yourself. You resist on behalf of other groups because you understand that those other groups are just a buffer between them and you. That once them other groups is gone, the ones that you was resting, abstaining from, babes. Okay, so just let me know. Fill me in on what's the plan to make sure black people are not destroyed during this bout of fascism. So I've seen all these videos of black people, folks are mobilizing and black folks are like, sit your black ass down, right? And my question is, okay, fine. What's the plan when they come for us though? Because they kidnapping people off the streets. So you may think you're not helping the wrong voters or whatever, but that's not going to stop them from coming for us. And in fact, they'll come for us before they come for them other people who voted wrong. So what is to happen since we're not participating in any resistance efforts and they're kidnapping people off the street? What is the plan for us? Because I know y'all don't think that you're going to be able to sit in your house unbothered while they kidnap people they ideologically disagree with off the streets.
Short answer to your question, exactly what we're doing. The perspective and the concern that you have are valid, but the reality is they've already come for us. They're already kidnapping us. Black children are constantly missing without any national fanfare or any kinds of alerts. Black men and women are losing their lives while in custody. Black people being found in shallow graves with no explanation and closed investigations. Strange fruit has been on the rise for the past 5 years, and they consistently try to mischaracterize it as suicides. See, what you're saying, and a lot of people are thinking, is where people are missing the point. It's not that we don't want to help. It's not that we don't want to be resisting. We recognize that everything that's happening right now are things that have already been happening. But we need these things to happen to everybody else in order for them to care about them. That's why we're here now. The reason why we're not going to be on the front lines of April 5th is because we showed up on November 5th. And we know because history has shown us we've been used as human shields from the Civil War to Vietnam War to World War II. That is why black people disproportionately have lost their lives and been in higher casualty rate of percentage of people who were at the military because they were willing to offer us up. The moment we take to the streets will be the moment they drop the curfew so they can have plausible aggression. The riot gear you haven't been seeing will suddenly return. Although we don't welcome the experiences that we have on anybody else, some people unfortunately needed to go through these things, to be afraid of these things, to be shocked by these things, to have these things happen to people they care about close in their family in order for them to become outraged. And the reason why I, like a lot of people who are caring now, I oftentimes will be in a windbreaker because I recognize in society they're just not comfortable seeing a black person with a gun on his hip. But if you're going to go down that route, don't just learn the weapon and go to a shooting range. Get professional training. The draw stroke, those seconds will save your life. There is no need for us to panic. They've already been coming for us. We've had to be ready for this, which is why I won't be sitting hiding in my house. But if they come for me or mine, rest assured, with my last breath, my mother will not be the only mother crying in church.
I had to remake this video because I started crying. So, about black people not marching, and I seen a comment on another creator's page about we all have a stake in this. Okay, listen. For the people who are marching, 92% of black women showed up at the polls on November 5th. And 80% of black men showed up at the poll because we asked them to. And sometimes we begged them to. Because we believed that Kamala had an ear that would listen to us as people. Was she perfect? No. But she was the best choice for America. She was the best choice for women. She was the best choice for people of color. She was the best choice for the poor. Because nobody really listened to what Donald Trump said, right? Y'all heard him, but you didn't listen. Because now some of you are shocked at what he's doing, but he said it the entire time. So, if black people were to go out on April 5th and march with you, it would be an excuse for them to declare martial law, right? Doesn't matter if the Hispanics do it. Doesn't matter if the Latinos do it. Doesn't matter if the Asians do it. It only matters if we do it. If we show up in mass numbers. And then you will understand what he's really trying to do. Okay? So once again, black people are protecting you. And y'all just need to ride with it because we are right. We were right before and we're right now. So we are helping you from our social media platforms and we are helping you with organizing, but we are not going to show up physically. It is not going to happen. And nobody wants a country like that.
Now, from that clip, you're able to see that people are complaining here and there. And one thing I must say is that black people have endured some of the worst situations in America, but they are able to manage themselves and address those issues among themselves without even depending on any other minority group to help them fight their wars. So when it comes to this war that to me seems intentional, because when they voted Trump, they knew who Trump was. They left another candidate who was a black lady. They did not want anything to do with that black lady, and they said they are Mexicans for Trump. And that is what they are getting. Right now, those who are in detention camps are because they decided to vote a president that they thought would give them something out of it. So as Donald Trump embarked on his second term in 2025, his presidency continued to ignite fierce opposition, particularly among white Americans and Mexican Americans, who viewed his policies as a sustained assault on equity and inclusion. Yet a persistent worry gnawed at these groups, black Americans' apparent refusal to join their protest against Trump's renewed tenure. This unease was not merely about numbers, but reflected deeper tensions, historical mistrust, divergent priorities, and the challenges of forging unity in a nation Trump's leadership seemed intent on fracturing further. For many white Americans opposed to Trump, his second term amplifies fears of authoritarianism and racial regression. His past actions, equivocating on white supremacy, pushing tax cut favoring the wealthy, and doubling down on divisive rhetoric, had already galvanized their resistance. They assumed black Americans, long targeted by systemic injustice, would be natural partners in the fight. However, the lukewarm response from black communities stirred anxiety and confusion. Some white protesters worried that without black voices, their movement risked appearing disconnected from the broader struggle of racial justice, a charge that echoed criticisms of past white-led activisms as performative. This refusal hinted at a lingering skepticism among black Americans, who, after centuries of betrayal, might see Trump's second term as just another chapter in an enduring saga of white indifference, not a unique rallying cry. Mexican Americans, meanwhile, carried their own distinct concerns into Trump's second term. His border wall obsession and immigration crackdown had evolved into even harsher measures threatening their families and livelihoods. Protests became a lifeline to assert their humanity against dehumanizing policies. They looked at black Americans, fellow victims of systemic exclusions, for solidarity, hoping a united front could amplify their demands. But when black participants remained sparse, Mexican Americans fretted over a perceived lack of mutual support. Their worry was compounded by differing focal points. While they battled ICE raids and workplace discrimination, black Americans often zeroed in on police violence and economic disenfranchisement, issues Trump exacerbated but didn't solely define. This fragmented resistance underscores a broader dread. Trump's second term thrived on divisions, and black Americans' reluctance weakened the collective pushback white and Mexican Americans envisioned. Yet, it also laid bare an uncomfortable truth. Unity requires reckoning with the historical rifts Trump exploited, not just opposing him. Without that bridge, their protest felt incomplete, haunted by the specter of a coalition that could not have been. So that is what people protesting against President Trump are facing. Whites are asking themselves a lot of questions. Mexican Americans, on the other hand, think blacks have left them to fight this war alone. And they are asking, what will you do if Trump comes for you? I think blacks have been in this struggle for the longest time, and they know when to pick up a fight. So right now, because there was an option to elect a leader who was black, you left not to vote for her, and this is the fruit of your actions. So I think they have just to keep up with it. Trump is going nowhere. For the 4 years that he has been elected, he will serve as US president. And for those who are crying over his policies, next time, you can do better. Tell me down in the comment section what to think about this. And if you're watching us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and also share. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless you. Goodbye.